Here's a truth that may surprise you. Asking people to adapt to your hearing is not selfish. Today, you'll discover why your needs are legitimate, fair, and necessary to stay fully present in your family and friendships. This matters now because the longer you keep adapting alone, the more tired and distant you become. I've lived this myself and seen it again and again. Let's look at why asking is not the problem and what really changes when you do. Let's start with something that sounds obvious, but causes a lot of confusion. We often hear that everyone should be treated the same. Same rules, same expectations, same behavior. And on the surface, that feels fair. It feels respectful. But when hearing changes enter the picture, treating everyone exactly the same doesn't always lead to the same outcome. Imagine a group conversation. Everyone is speaking freely. People talk over each other. Someone speaks while turning away. Background noise is present, but nobody really notices it. For most people, this works just fine. They follow along without thinking about it. But for you, even though you're part of the same group and treated the same way, the experience is very different. You're working harder. You're concentrating more. You're guessing parts of what's said. And at the end of the conversation, you feel drained while others feel relaxed. That's the first important shift to understand. Same treatment does not always mean same access. Equality doesn't automatically create fairness. When conditions are different, the results are different too, and hearing changes quietly change the conditions of participation. This leads us to the second point. Hearing changes alter the playing field, even when nobody intends to exclude you. Conversations are not neutral environments. They're full of variables: speed, distance, background noise, and visual cues. And when your hearing isn't as reliable as it used to be, these variables matter a lot more. What makes this especially difficult is that the effort you're making is invisible. Others don't see the concentration. They don't feel the mental fatigue. They don't notice the constant adjustments you're making just to stay involved. From the outside, it looks like you're there. Inside, you're working much harder than before. Over time, this imbalance takes a toll. You may start speaking less. You may hesitate before joining in. You may tell yourself it's easier to just listen or to let others talk. And slowly, without anyone meaning for it to happen, the conversation becomes uneven by default, not because people don't care, but because the environment hasn't adapted. This is where many people start blaming themselves. They think they're asking too much. They think they should try harder. They think it's their responsibility to adapt quietly. But restoring balance doesn't require big changes. It doesn't require special treatment. It requires small, practical adjustments that make a real difference. Simple things: facing you when speaking, reducing background noise when possible, slowing down slightly, repeating without frustration. These are not dramatic demands. They don't interrupt the flow of life. In fact, they often improve communication for everyone involved. And yet, this is where fear shows up. The fear of asking for too much. The fear of being seen as difficult. The fear of being a burden. So many people with hearing changes carry this fear quietly. They hesitate. They wait. They adapt alone. This brings us to a crucial misunderstanding. These adaptations are often seen as favors, as kindness, as something extra that others generously offer. But that framing creates shame. Because if it's a favor, then asking feels wrong. It feels like you're imposing. In reality, these are reasonable adjustments. They are not about charity. They are about access. When you explain what you need, clarity replaces tension. People finally understand what's really happening instead of guessing. And when people understand, they usually respond with more patience, not less. What you're asking for is not special treatment. It's a way to participate on equal ground. It's a way to be present without exhausting yourself. It's a way to stay connected instead of slowly fading into the background. And here's something that often surprises people. Your request doesn't only serve you, it serves the relationship. When you don't ask, others guess. And guessing creates distance. It creates misunderstandings and awkwardness. People may think you're not interested, or tired, or withdrawn, when in reality, you're just struggling to keep up. When you ask clearly and calmly, the conversation becomes easier for everyone. There's less tension, less frustration, less uncertainty. You don't have to fake understanding. Others don't have to worry about whether you're uncomfortable. The connection becomes smoother and more genuine. If this resonates with you so far, I'd really like to know. You can leave a comment below and simply say what feels hardest for you when it comes to asking for these adjustments. You're not alone in this, and your experience matters. Asking is not a sign of weakness. It's not selfish. It's a way of taking care of yourself and the people you care about. It's a way of protecting your energy, your presence, and the relationship. Over time, something important happens when you stop asking. You tell yourself it's fine, that you're being easygoing, but inside, the cost is real. The cost is fatigue that builds day after day. The cost is a feeling of being slightly out of sync. The cost is wondering why you feel less present, even when you're physically there. Silence may seem like the polite option, but it slowly leads to withdrawal. And withdrawal, over time, leads to loneliness. This is why the final shift matters so much. Asking for adaptation is not a personal flaw. It's an act of fairness. It's a way of saying, I want to stay connected, engaged. I want to be here fully. When you ask, you're not asking for more than others. You're asking for what allows you to participate on equal footing. Once this mindset settles in, something changes inside you. The guilt softens. The shame loosens its grip. You stop apologizing for existing with different needs. You begin to speak with more calm and confidence. Not demanding, not defensive, just clear. And people feel that difference. They respond differently when your request comes from clarity instead of hesitation. Many loved ones are relieved to finally understand how they can help. They want you involved. They want real conversations with you. They just need guidance. This doesn't mean every situation will be perfect. Some days will still be harder. Some environments will still be challenging. That's part of adapting. But the emotional weight lifts when you stop carrying everything alone. So here's a gentle invitation. Today, think of one simple request you've been holding back. Just one. Something small. Something practical. It could be asking someone to face you when they speak, or turning down background noise during a meal, or saying calmly, I didn't quite catch that. Could you repeat it? Notice how it feels to allow yourself that permission. And with that, I'll leave you here. Take good care of yourself. I wish you more connection with your loved ones in the days ahead. I'll see you very soon.